YouTube, this is Firewizard23, and welcome back to Let's Play Lost Kingdoms. In the last episode, we finished up Blasoon, and just like all the other areas, we can't go back to it. Let's check out Alexander's fairy house, where we can bring him our red fairies. Now, again, this kind of comes back to a major problem I have with the game. Really, most of these side characters, with the exception of Gurd, no one really has any major impact on the plot of this game. Basically, Alexander is a researcher of red fairies, and we're just going to bring him red fairies for the purpose of trading for cards. But let's talk with him first. And here he just says, oh, I think fairies are so interesting, and I hope you can bring me a lot of red fairies you find, because I'll give you cards. Does he mention that here? I didn't see if he did. But here we do give him 6 red fairies, and that puts us past the threshold, where he's going to give us a card as thanks. We have a fire gargoyle. And we're going to have to bring him 10 fairies next time to get another one. But this is a summon monster. It sends out this circle of damage balls that can actually do a paralysis effect. So that's a petrify effect. So that's pretty nice. Off we go. Pretty much, it's going to be the standard after every mission. I'm going to go see Alexander as well as talk to Gurd again. Alexander to drop off the fairies, and Gurd to get more cards. And here I'm going to have to make some choices about what I want and what I don't want. Not a big fan of the Birdman, so I ditch them. I don't like the Hobgoblins, really, so I ditch them. I'm a lot more about weapon cards. A couple summon monsters, but generally about weapon cards. Yeah, I put in light counterspells. Let's head back to Gurd's. Now, the first thing you're going to see... I'm sorry, I'm eating some pizza. The first thing you're going to see here is... talking to Gurd, you can bring up this option to go on a couple side quests for Gurds in different areas of the world. I'll do this a little bit later. I'm going to focus mostly on the main story here. So here's the ability to buy cards. Now, you don't get gold in the game. You have to sell off your other cards to get gold. So here I'm just going to sell off some of the other cards that I have that I don't really want, like all the extra Plague Rats. I'll keep one just so my deck is kind of complete. I'll ditch my extra Birdman cards and my extra Hobgoblins, because I really don't want them. Obviously, the more powerful and rare a card is, the more valuable and more it's worth. Take one of these red lizard cards, and one of these giant crab cards, and I will take one of these flying ray cards, just so I have one of each kind. I just look up the giant crab specs here, and it can throw out bubbles that can cause the petrify status, and it can hit a lot of targets and do multiple hits of damage. The flying ray is essentially the water version of the Dark Raven, but it can penetrate any defense. Red Lizard is just the fire version of the Lizard Man card that I frequently use. But right now, we don't really want anything else. And here we check out the copies, see that my Man-Traps and my Dark Ravens, I could make copies of them right now. But none of the other monsters I can transform into new cards. And by pressing Y, you can pull up the potential transformations, but I don't even have those cards yet, so I have no idea what the skeleton could become at this point with enough experience. So I'm going to have to hold off on those for now. And I just checked a couple other ones here, and nope, nothing. So we're going to have to hold that off till later. So off we go. We have to head towards the graveyard or whatever, Rabazon, up here. The burial grounds, right into the burial grounds. We have to reach the exit. We're heading on our way to Castle Grail, and this is how we got to go. And this is indeed the Ros Amo burial grounds. Now here I'm going to check every gravestone because some of them have red fairies. And this one's kind of hinting at kind of the gimmick of this level, that some of these gravestones are going to indicate certain colors that we're going to want to remember for later. God, that's really good. My pizza. sure to pick up every red fairy. And every guard. This game does not let up. You have to explore every nook and cranny. Some skeletons to deal with. And not my Dark Raven against them and my men traps. They are quick little devils. And I didn't realize here there's a cart in my way. I was trying to throw the man trap at the skeleton far away, and I forgot there was I didn't realize there was a cart in my way. Or that the cart would be in my way for the throw. It's kind of stupid. I can't believe I thought that. And we win the battle. Yay! Let's go here. I'm checking that stump. I wanted to see if there was a red fairy inside, and I didn't find one. Large gravestones. Yeah, so if you see me just randomly talking to gravestones, I'm looking for certain ones. Ancient gravestones, I think the first one's over here that actually means something. Large gravestone. Nope, it's the next set. And here we actually find a guard. And a large one. He's just telling us, oh, you just missed your father. They're on ahead, so keep going. This first tombstone is where we start getting the thing. Here lies Geirfrid the Golden, the King of Melanja. So, what he's saying afterwards isn't important, but remember that, Geirfrid the Golden. And he's referred to as a first king. So, Geirfrid the Golden. Uh-oh, battle time! More skeletons. There's actually a really nice monster that pops up in this area that I'm really fond of. It's not very powerful, but I do like it. Not these skeletons, but it's another monster coming out. Yay, we beat him. The battle window, it seems like maybe it's kind of a bad battle window. You can't really tell what's happening, but it does a pretty good job, I think. I don't complain too much about how the battle mechanic of this game. Just watching the battles, I don't complain too much about it because I think it's adequate. All right, over here we want to check this well because there's a fairy inside. They say watch out for skeletons and ghouls. Here we find another skeleton card, and I can see it by the see-through thing. There is something under this card, so I walk around here kind of aimlessly. And there was a blue fairy that just restored my health. But I'm walking around kind of aimlessly here because I do want a battle to instigate so I can use a weapon monster to destroy the card. Or a summon monster or an independent monster can do it too, but a weapon monster you can be much more direct about it. Come on, battle. There we go. Doodly-doodly-doo-doo. Pound. See, that is the Venom spider right there. That is Venom or Venus spider. I love that monster. That web is incredibly wide. You can hit a lot of monsters with it. That definitely might be a summon card that goes in my deck at some point. Got lots of experience. Awesome. Yay! We got a Wraith card. That's a very nice card. Wraith is a summon monster that will shoot icicles far away from where it's summoned, but all the damage it does will come to you as HP. That's awesome. Got a ghoul here. I do not like this ghoul. I like the ghoul as my weapon monster, not as a monster you have to fight. My carbuncle is zooming around me. Get him, carbuncle! Boom! Yeah! Magic stones. I try to grab all the magic stones here. If I'm missing certain magic stones, it's just because I'm just not noticing they're there. Okay, this is Rolal the Green. So remember the second king is Rolal the Green. Remember that? We had the golden guy, then the green guy. Let's keep going up. There's a Venus spider and two skeletons up ahead. I discard the fairy here because I don't need healing. I'm looking for a monster like the man trap. Yeah, here I just blast the skeleton apart with Dark Ravens. Gotcha! There's the Venus spider. I'm gonna send the man trap after it. much faster than the Venus spider. I'm pretty actually sure it is a Venus spider, not an Apple spider. There is a method in this game where you can actually use your cards to capture other monsters, kind of a la Pokemon. I don't do that because I really find it just really unnecessary. I'm pretty sure you can actually get every card in this game without having to ever use the capture method. And that's present in the second game too, but I never utilized it. Come on, Lycanthrope. Cross swipe! Boom! Gotcha! Ow! Bitch! I'm gonna smack this guy with a random card. Gotcha! Yay! So here is Inwall the White. Ermwall the White. Ermwall the White. He's a third king, so we'll have to remember that. There's a pile of dirt I should avoid. Sorry about that, I was eating my pizza. Here's the cursed king, King Beryl of Alonja. He was seen heading to the Black Mist and he disappeared, but beware his curse. And oh boy! Yep, this is a trap. A little trap, and there is our first Wraith we're going to fight. And this Lycanthrope cast was way too late to hit him. So Wraith moves quickly, I need a monster who can act quickly. There's the icicle attack I was telling you about. Gora. At this point, I'm just trying to smack these guys with anything I have. Unfortunately, I'm really kind of taking heavy hits, so I'm rolling slowly. So instead of Skeleton, I'm hoping him fast enough that he's getting honed by that Wraith. At the end of this battle, I check out the Sea Monk card because I'd like to restore 1 to 5 of my cards before the battle ends, and I managed to get all 5. That's pretty lucky. So 5 cards got restored to my deck. Beat 2 Ghouls and a Wraith, and there's our experience points. And let's continue. And there's a card under here, the Trant card. The Tree Trant. Pretty nice monster. It's an independent monster that just kind of stands still, but he increases the defense of all the other monsters on the field that are yours. That's pretty cool. Here's the red fairy I was talking about that would say that when you use a card, during that brief moment, you are indestructible. So, don't use that to your advantage. Another ancient gravestone. Another ancient gravestone. Gotta get to this little ending here, because there's a couple of things we can do. Skeleton. I'm gonna use my fairy right off, because I'm really taking the hits here. Healing! 50 HP, that is. I'm running out of stones here, so I'm draining my HP to use the cards. I quickly run over to grab more stones so I don't have to drain my health. It should be pretty obvious, but the more damage you do will create more gems spitting out. Also, the fatal strike will create more gems spitting out of monsters as well. Forget that. 3 skeletons defeated. This last gravestone I want to take a look at. This is the 4th Great King, Dane the Red. So we've got gold, green, white, and red. That's the path of kings, as they would say. So remember that very carefully. By the way, that red light that's following behind our main protagonist, that is the runestone that is shining. Turn the camera here. Here we go. We got a red fairy in the chest. There are 5 kingdoms in Ogwal: Alanjan, Grael, Kandari, White, and Bashia. But Bashia and Alanja have been taken up by the Black Fog, so we can't go back there right now. Got another Wraith card. I should also mention, as long as I'm thinking about it, the maximum number of copies, you're allowed 30 cards in your deck. The maximum number of copies of a certain card you can have in your deck is 10. And that's the same for weapon monsters, for summon monsters, for independent monsters. 10 is the maximum number of copies of a single card you can ever have in your deck at one time. I could have 10 Lizard Men, but no more. I could have 10 Mandragora, but no more. Beyond that, anything goes. Even to certain cards we're going to get very later in the game who are obscenely, abusively powerful. Abusively powerful. Okay. My skeleton's duking it out over there. Come on, skeleton. I beat him with the water hopper. There's a chest over here. I just want to make sure I plunder it. Bing! It's a mummy card. There's this guy standing here. Who are you? This is Lord Unther. And he's basically dying, though. The game does not really... Again, my problem with it is that the side characters really have nothing to do in this game. Right? Kind of very hastily kind of thrown into the plot. And he basically says we're the only hope for the king now. Since the olden days, the great four kings of Alanja have stood guard. We have to trace the path of the four kings to open this gate. And we see the four gravestones ahead of us that are colored, so I wonder what we have to do. Let's get these cards first. Something, a ghoul, and I didn't even see what the first card was. You saw what it was. Dark Raven. Okay, so I'm going to toss all the cards in my deck here haphazardly. We got this mission. Let's see, well first it was the Golden King. Then the Green King. Doing this wrong will produce a monster battle, so be careful. The White King. And finally the Red King. That opens the door. I almost got that fairy, I passed it up, and I said, I just go for it. Alright. Some kind of obelisk. Some type. Oh boy! They cut the boss music really weird. I mean, the battle should just basically start with the music continuing, but no. It's time for boss time against the Necromancer. He has two skeletal guards. I'm going to throw out the Wraith against him. Massive damage! No, not massive damage when we get the point. I'm going to throw out my skeletons here. And I'm going to use the Wraith right up immediately afterwards. Do a little more damage. The problem with the Necromancer is he's very quick and he can teleport. I'm gonna try to go over to the mummy on him here. Ah, run away from skeleton. Skull, run away, run away, run away, run away. And I only learned later in the battle I actually could have just destroyed the skull by attacking it. There's one skeleton guard. I got the Treant, so I'm gonna go ahead and use the Treant here to increase my defensive power. After I throw this Dark Raven at him. Ah, take that! Treant. Watch as he is summoned, because we're going to see this little power thing surround both me and the Treant. So our defensive power is increased as well as he's around. But his energy is going to slowly dwindle in the battle. And obviously, if he's attacked, he'll lose power too. Is the fairy here again? Nope, nope. This guy gets next to me, so I go ahead and whip out the light again. Nope, nope. Fairy. Fairy power! 50 HP back. Drop me, man. I believe. Nope, man trap. Works terribly on this guy. Yeah, not every monster is suited for every single kind of battle, so you gotta be careful. But here's the Mandragora, and he just automatically explodes, doing damage. There's some of them I can't throw, but I think this is gonna end the battle. Swipe! There we go, that takes care of the Necromancer. Man, he does something very weird here that I still have absolutely no idea what this is. No idea folks what that was. But we can grab all these gems and spit out. Restores our ability to use cards. That ends the level. Do I get 5 stars? Yes! Now, can I pull the Necromancer? I'm going to try the first 3 cards again. Come on! No! I want the Necromancer! Oh well, 2 ghouls and a Wraith. And here I just pull up the Wraith card because I was actually wondering if it had an effect. And yeah, half the damage done by it will come back as hit points to the caster. So that about ends it for this episode of Let's Play Lost Kingdoms. And here we're just realizing we have to go to Castle Grail, and the only way is through the Grail Passage, which is an underground sewer. So, this is Firewizard23 saying take care and bye-bye for now, everybody.